David Dweck, based in South Florida. David Dweck is an active real estate investor and a licensed realtor. His company, Private Equity Funding, specializes in private loans for real estate investors, and he has bought, sold, renovated, consulted, and brokered over 2,000 transactions. He has also participated in numerous commercial transactions. In 1994, he founded the Boca Real Estate Investment Club, and as a founder and president, he has built the organization into one of the most respected real estate investor associations in the U.S. David is passionate about helping others achieve their real estate goals, and he has spoken on local and national level on real estate investing and has been quoted and written about in local and national media, including CNBC, Forbes, Wall Street Journal, Bankrate.com, Investors Business Daily, Fortune Magazine, and The Today Show. That's a lot.
Thank you.
So, David, thank you so much for being a part of this and kind of giving your knowledge to all of our viewers. And this is one of the days of 22 interviewees, so you're in good company.
Nice. I'm fresh and ready to go.
Yay.
Fire away.
All right. Well, so the first question really honestly is, how did you know you were destined to be an entrepreneur?
Great question, and I'll answer it in a few different parts. First, when I was 30, I had given my life, 3 or 4 years of my life, to a gentleman who was also an entrepreneur, but he dangled the carrot and said, I'm going to make you a partner. And when he put a partnership agreement in front of me, it wasn't what I expected. In fact, my expectations were I was so let down.
Aww.
I was hurt. And I decided that was the defining moment where I decided I'm upping my income, up yours. And I quit. Because after I would not sign his partnership agreement, he wanted me to sign a non-compete. And I said, well, if you give me $10,000 unconditionally, I'll sign a non-compete. Didn't work out. I resigned. And that was when I started as a real estate investor and then ultimately got my real estate license. And basically I was at that point, even though, excuse me, I'm a baby boomer, I was at that millennial age of 30. And I wanted to set my own path. I knew what I wanted to do. I started getting training because, when I went to real estate school, they taught me how to pass the exam, but they didn't teach me really about real estate and how to do deals and things like that. So that's one of the reasons why I started the Boca Real Estate Investment Club 22 plus years ago, for real estate investors and entrepreneurs to get together, network, like-minded individuals, mastermind, and all that good jazz.
Cool.
And so here I am today.
Very cool. So how did the path start then, as far as becoming a business owner? Because obviously you're an entrepreneur and you said shove it and you went off on your own, but how did the pathway bring you to the point that you're at now, where you've expanded, you've got a team, you've got a real business?
Right. When I think back, because it was 25 years ago when I made that decision, really more than that, and I decided that real estate was going to be my path towards long-term wealth. I could get rich slowly and build my portfolio and continue to, do transactions on a, regular basis, but also just make sure that I was set to be financially free if and when I chose to just, stop working, which I have no plans on doing, but I'm setting my pathway for that day. But one of the things that I really enjoy, Alex, is being able to have the freedom to do what I want, when I want, as long as I have, great coverage, in my office and with all the deals that we have going on. So, I always, part of my living list, bucket list is a negative word, so I use living list, is I go to 2 places a year that I've never been before.
Cool.
So, and I usually like to accomplish that, and that was accomplished this year. So I explored one place, locally, which was not so locally. It was in Nashville. Got to explore Nashville, Tennessee. And then I went to Iceland. Iceland. Highly recommended. And you got to go to the Blue Lagoon. It's a very cool place. Very different.
I've seen the pictures. I would say bucket list, but apparently that's not the way we
Living list.
living
Yeah.
list. Got
Rewind, erase, delete, delete, delete.
it. So then how long, because you said that you could get rich slowly or you could go the faster route. How long did it take you to hit your first six figures?
Well, ironically, real estate is very cyclical. And I'm sure, you talk to a lot of entrepreneurs and things are different in every single business. So what was interesting is there was a challenging time back in the .com days, in 2000, and real estate had a challenge back then. And then, things continued to rise until the Great Recession. So back in the early 2000s, that was when I was consistently achieving my financial goals. And I weathered the storm and I learned valuable lessons from that crash. And I remember vividly 9 years ago in 2007, I was getting on a plane from an Alaskan cruise. And my attorney had called me saying, your deal closed. And I joked with him and I said, I wonder if this is the last six-figure check that I'll be getting.
That's terrifying.
And it was. And it was terrifying. And it was the last six-figure check I got because we hit the Great Recession.
Yeah.
And what I learned is that, regardless, whatever business you're in, have a rainy day fund, because you just never know. You never know when it's going to hit. And I always tell people that, if you're a real estate entrepreneur, then it's critically important to have a cash position. And you cannot, you could do deals with no money down. I've done that before, but you really need, if you're going to be in the buy, fix, sell business, and I've done plenty of those, you have to have money to do it. And one of the things I do that I started doing about 15 or so years ago is I do private lending for investors that are buying real estate and buying real estate that needs work. Because, after the Great Recession, you just can't go to a bank and say, oh, I need money for a fixer-upper.
Right.
You're going to get it.
You won't get it.
Correct.
Absolutely. So then what do you feel, because you did create that rainy day fund, what did you feel is the best action step that our viewers who are thinking about either starting their own business or growing their business should implement right now?
Well, there's one piece of advice, Alex, that I give to everybody, regardless of their age. My parents even heeded my advice with this. And, my parents are, thank God, still alive and healthy. And they, in addition to the house that I grew up in, that they still live in, for most of, growing up mostly in this house back in New York, they bought an apartment in New York City. And they bought it really cheap. And then they decided, well, what do we really need it for? They sold it. But at least they own that free and clear, and they profited greatly from that investment. So what I advise people to do is own your own home, first and foremost. You got to own your own home. And one of the things I'm doing at the Renegades of Real Estate is empowering millennials and Gen Xers and even some boomers to buy their own real estate at the very least. And in addition, buy one other property that they can have a tenant pay for. So at the end of the day, or whenever, they have two pieces of real estate at the very least that they own.
Cool.
And as long as they make the right decision on both those deals, then they should do very well.
Got it. Okay. So then, David, I've heard both. Some people saying, it's not great to buy a house, right? Or it's better to take that money and go travel or have experiences or whatever. But you're saying that it's better to have two.
Yes. And here's the point. Traveling is terrific, but at the end of the day, what do you have to show for it other than your great memories and those great moments? Mm-hmm. So it is, I think, critically important that, again, own your own real estate. I don't care if it's a condo, townhome, starter home, whatever it is. You've got to start. You've got to take that leap of faith to buy that first deal. Especially, again, I go back to millennials, which will be the greatest buying segment of the population ever in this country. So forget the baby boomers. That party is over.
Mhm.
Now it's focusing on the millennials. And then just add one other property to your portfolio. The best thing about real estate is it's a tangible asset. Stock market can crash. You have nothing to show for. Nothing. So that's why I'm a big
Property
proponent of
guy.
real estate.
Got it.
Yes.
So then most successful business people have some sort of a daily routine or ritual. And I know that you specifically are pretty deep and spiritual and you know, as
Thank
the
you.
as the viewers I hope will get to know you in the future and click on links and you know, find out more about you, because I've been, you know, blessed and fortunate enough to know you for 2 years plus now.
Yes.
Which that was a really fun 4th of July, just sidebar. Anyway,
It was.
um, but a lot of people have this great daily routine or ritual, and can you share yours, or do you have one?
Sure. I have numerous things that I do, and they encompass a number of different things. First, where would I be without my morning cup of Joe? So if I had to say, yeah, yeah, and now I'm having my water. Coffee is definitely my one dependence, not an addiction. It is dependence.
Uh,
But then I also will do a number of different things. I move something. I learned from Tony Robbins that trampoline is an amazing thing. So if I need to get my energy flowing, I'll jump on a little trampoline I have in my house.
you have a trampoline in your office?
In my house, in my home, there's a trampoline. It's a small little one, a little personal one. You can get them, well, Sports Authority's out of business. That's where I got mine.
I'm pretty sure everybody here that is listening in would pay money to see you on the trampoline. We may have to do a second follow-up just with
I'm
you.
bringing it. The trampoline is coming to the Renegades of Real Estate.
Oh
So
my
those
gosh,
who want to get a little energy, go in the trampoline.
that's
Have
amazing.
to credit Tony Robbins for that.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh, that's so funny.
I always read in the morning. So that's typically newspapers, whether it's the Sun Sentinel and the Wall Street Journal, and Sunday, the New York Times. So I'm doing reading. I'm usually doing reading while I'm on the stationary bike. And then I will get the blood flowing by either doing a little bit on a treadmill or walking on the beach, something like that.
Now, how early do you wake up for all this?
I'm typically up between 6 and 6:30 a.m.
Okay.
And I typically go to sleep between 11:30 and midnight. So I need 6 hours. As long as I have my 6 hours, I'm a happy camper.
Cool.
So on a regular basis, I will make smoothies in the morning. I will also, so I make sure I do get some exercise, smoothies. I'm not doing it as much as I really like to, but I love meditating, and my meditation that I really enjoy is the Deepak Chopra meditations that I have the series, and I listen to it on CD.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old fashioned, I know it's CD, but that's me. Okay. And I do that.
It's called YouTube now.
Yes.
I'm just
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
And then, then also when I get into my office is 20 minutes away from my home. I always have a daily action list. And Alex, there's a major difference in action list versus to-do list. To-do lists suck. They're negative. You don't want to do it. On my action list, I'll highlight the most important, 3 or 4 most important things I need to get done. The rest I'd like to get done, and hopefully they get done. But I am accountable to myself. That's my fuel. I want to push hard. I also make sure that I attend at least 2 or 3 networking events per month, sometimes more. Now, some of my avocations, just to give you a background of what I'm passionate about, I love music, so I'm in my temple choir. I've been there for like 8 years. I play drums in a band called Chrome. All of us have no hair because we rock the shine, okay?
Wow.
Yeah. And if people ask me, well, what kind of songs do you like to sing? Well, one of my favorite songs is Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, which was made extremely popular by Rufus Wainwright. And that's probably one of my favorite versions. So it's a great song.
That's a good song.
And then I play basketball. So every Sunday I'm on the basketball court. I play outdoor basketball. This weekend, this past Labor Day weekend, I played on Sunday and Monday. So yesterday I played for over an hour and a half. Outdoor, good schwitz. That's Italian for sweat. But Italiano? No, I'm just kidding. And what else I do? I play drums, and then my networking includes like things like the Book Real Estate Investment Club, the men's club at my synagogue. I'm on the board of directors of my synagogue, things like that. So I'm very active, charitably active, whole 9 yards. Shout out to my man, Frank McKinney. I'm on the board of his Caring House Project Foundation. We do great work in Haiti. I've been on that board for, I don't know, 8-10 years, and I've known Frank for just about 20.
So obviously you have a lot going on, and
Yes,
you've
I
got
do.
tons of energy, because and this is something that I get a lot too. So I'm asking you the question because I want to hear somebody else's point of view on it.
Sure.
Because you have all of this energy, and people probably just listening are like, oh my God, that's exhausting. You know, like, how do you have time? How do you have energy? What's the one thing that will prevent burnout for somebody in a startup or a new business or an entrepreneurial venture? Because you've got a lot going on, but you're very structured.
Yes.
What's going to get somebody to that next level and to that level and to that 6-figure salary and not burn out and not just pass out from sheer exhaustion? Because people starting out in a company or a business, it's, you know, that they don't say 80 hours to work on your own for nothing. It's like
yeah, great question. You know, you got to begin with the end in mind. What is your end game? What do you want to achieve? And when I work with people as a consultant, I want to know what their goals are, both short-term and long-term, and let's get to that point. In other words, if you're just spinning your wheels and going nowhere, I have a single mom who works very closely with me. So she's a full-time mom of 2 young boys, and we did our first deal together, I want to say about 15 years ago. And she has got a lot going on too, but she knows this is what she's got to do, and she manages to get it done. And I really think that, you know, a lot of it's mental toughness. And by the way, mental toughness, Steve Siebold's book is a great book on mental toughness. I recommend everybody read that book.
Which one is that one?
Steve Siebold, look him up.
Steve Siebold.
Yes. And then another great book, who was one of the original Renegades, is David J. Pillai's book, which is called The 3 Promises.
Yep.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a gift to give to 3 of your most favorite clients. I'm going to give you that book when I see you, because I have to get together with you. I'm going to give you 3 books to give away to 3 of your favorite clients. And it's called The 3 Promises.
All right. Well, that may have to get edited out, because 3 of you know who you are, and then the others are, wow, sorry.
Okay. Okay.
So,
but let me tell you about The 3 Promises.
all right.
Find joy every day. Do what you love. Make a difference.
Hey, say it again, because there were some chimes going off.
Chimes?
There were chimes. There's a clock in the place that
you know, Alex, you just put the om in shalom. That was great.
Oh, wow. Really? You just did that. I mean, obviously you were blessing us with, you know, some amazing words right there, and so the chimes just came. But, you know, let's say it again for this.
That was meant to be the chimes.
So I understand what you said.
The chimes are the musical accompaniment.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. The 3 Promises. I'm just hoping that they're in the right order. Find joy every day. Do what you love. Make a difference.
Love it. Love it. Got it. And then, all right. So you already gave a little bit of a teaser into a gift, and later tonight we're gonna actually.
Alex, I'm a teaser and a pleaser. Come on.
Oh, that just happened. Okay. You are so cheesy. I only say this. I don't say this to all of the people I interview, guys. I just him for a while. So he was gracious enough to come on here, and he knew that he was going to get on the hot seat, and I was going to give him crap. So
yeah.
You know, later tonight, we are going to be sending out a link to an awesome gift that you are giving to all of our viewers.
Yes.
And that's going to be a surprise, because he wanted me to wait on telling you, so you guys can be seated, you know, at the edge of your seats, bated breath, all of that. But I would like to finish up just by having just a little bit of words of wisdom from you. If you could tell our viewers to do one thing, that's 2, one thing to grow their business, what would it be?
Focus.
All right.
And that's very challenging for especially new entrepreneurs. Clearly the passion is there. If they weren't passionate, they wouldn't be an entrepreneur. You got to find the ability to focus and get stuff done, because you're the energizer, no matter who you are, no matter what business. I don't care if it's, you know, real estate, retail, whatever it is, you know, tech. You've got to have the focus. And then I think the second thing is the team. You've got to surround yourself with the best. It may take you a while to find those people. And believe me, it's taken me a while. But I surround myself with the best. And I love doing business with people that I know, like, and trust. So those are my nuggets.
I like your nuggets. We're good.
Thanks.
Well,
Thank
David,
you.
thank you so much for doing this and for being a part of the Startup Without Burnout Summit. This is going to be a really, really fun group of insights and people, and your point of view is refreshing to say the least. Always.
Thank you.
So thank
Thank
you.
you. I think, it's amazing. And you touched on that. This is I think it's a very hot button topic. So I give you credit for being able to be bold, which is, my friend Marshall Silver, look him up, Sylver.
Heard of
He
that one.
coined, he coined the term, and I've studied with Marshall. We've been friends for probably 15 years. Boldness is rewarded, and you're a bold woman. And the burnout factor is huge, huge. And you have to find ways to achieve the balance so you don't burn out. Whatever it is that you love doing. I don't care if it's yoga, going to a concert, going to a sporting event. One of the things I love doing is I'm a diehard forever Miami Heat fan. And, that's one of the things I can take, if I have a tough day, I'll go to a Heat game, whatever it is. So find that balance.
Got it. Well, David, thank you. And that is a wrap. Everybody tune in, and very shortly you will be emailed with a great link to his surprise for you. Should be this evening before midnight. So you'll see it.
Great. Thanks, Alex.
Bye.